Hello everybody, I am Buck WSR Weezer, and I'm coming at you today with a video on how to fix your lawnmower when it will not run after bringing it out of storage. In this case, I got a John Deere lawnmower. That really doesn't matter. It's a Briggs & Stratton engine, and what happens a lot of times is these have sat with gas in the carburetor all winter. So in the springtime when you pull them out, or anytime you pull it out of storage where the machine has not been used in a long while, it doesn't want to start. Now in this case, it's got the primer bulb feature, so you can prime it a couple of times. It'll shoot a little gas into the carburetor and it will run for 2 or 3 seconds and then die out. It says to me it's not sucking up the fuel from the carburetor bowl. This is such a common thing for a machine that's been in storage, and today I'm going to show you how you can easily fix it and get up and running again. Alright, in this particular case we're going to take off this cover here and then the air cleaner assembly, just to move that out of the way so that we can get access to the carburetor itself. This guy comes out of the way. We take off the air filter. Now we're going to take off the air cleaner assembly. These 2 screws right here bolts right into the front of the carburetor. I'm going to take it off carefully. There's a gasket between the air cleaner assembly and the carburetor, and I want to try to get this off without that gasket ripping. Sometimes you can't help it and you end up needing to replace it. So those 2 screws, and then this breather element unplugs here in the back, and he comes out of the way, so the gasket's fine. All right, so we've got the carburetor here, and there's a 1/2 inch screw here at the bottom of the bolt, whatever you call it, plug at the bottom of this carburetor bowl. Now what I want to do is pinch off that gas line so that the gas does not continue to run into the carburetor and all over the place. And to pinch that off, I use a pair of vice grips. Usually that gets the job done pretty well. This fuel line's looking pretty beat, kind of cracked and stuff. We'll see how that works. And then I'm going to use a 1/2 inch socket to get that plug off the bottom of the carburetor. I will have some gas that spills as part of that, because there's likely gas inside that carburetor. This one's a little harder to get to. Maybe I can get it with a 1/2 inch wrench. There are times, depending on the machine, when it may be easier to do this by just taking the carburetor completely off. That's not real hard. I've got this loose and it's starting to leak fuel. That's why I have the rag under here. But a lot of times, depending on the situation, you can get the bowl down without having to take the carburetor off completely. If you were to take the carburetor off completely, it's 1, 2 bolts there, of course disconnect the fuel line, and then the throttle linkage you take off right up here, and that's not hard either. But I'm going to see if we can succeed in today's project without actually taking the whole thing down. So you may not be able to see it, but there is some crud in the bottom of this bowl. So we're going to clean that out, and we're also going to clean out this little plug. The way this works is fuel goes in through both sides through this little hole here, and then is sucked up through the center hole here. And this is what gets clogged up I should say, so often with these plugs. So I'm going to show you how I clean that out. To clean out this plug, I use some highly specialized tools. A safety pin and a paper clip. So I'm going to push the paper clip through there, clean it out a little bit. I use the safety pin here on the top hole, clean that out a little bit. Yeah, because the fuel has to flow through this plug. And then what I do is I'll take a little bit of carbon choke cleaner and I'll just try to spray a little bit of that through there, through the top, and make sure it comes out the sides. Yeah, I know. I should have gloves on. Yeah, I know. I think that's flowing through there like it's supposed to. All right. Dry that off. And I'm not sure if I did get it all. That's really the main problem with this, is that crud gets in there and just clogs that up. Yeah, now I can see straight through it. I am going to blow some air through it now. And yes, I did that with my mouth. I know, that doesn't sound very sanitary or safe, but it gets the job done. All right, finally, I'm going to take that bowl, the carburetor bowl, this guy right here, and I'm going to clean him out also with a rag. Make sure there's no crud in there, because it's little crud in the bottom of this bowl which would get sucked up and clog that plug. All right, that looks pretty good too. So now we're going to put it back together and see if our little clean out was successful. All right. Bowl goes back up and plug screws back in. We tighten it down. And then we release our vice grip, allowing fuel to flow. And then we see if it starts up. Now, because I don't have the air cleaner back on, I can't use the primer bulb feature, so I'm just going to give us a head start by spraying a little starting fluid directly into the carburetor. And I think that should be it. See if this baby will run. That's all it was, is that little plug on the bottom of the carburetor was clogged up. So now we've freed it up. The gas is flowing freely and running just fine. So all that remains is to put the air cleaner back on, and what did that take us? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and that's all it was. So if you're having trouble with your equipment after storing it, Now you know how to get the gas flowing again through that carburetor. I am Buck WSR Weezer. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.